Welcome back to First Things First. Fever Sun got hot in Connecticut. Series of event here. First up, J.C. Sheldon pokes Caitlin in the eye, and she kind of accidentally gets pushed down.
No,
that wasn't accidentally.
Accidentally.
31's like, that wasn't me.
Yeah,
but 3 did it. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Then later in the game, Caitlin drains a 3 in Sheldon's face here. Same kind of spot. Tells her about it a little bit, so we get, that's an away crowd loving it.
Yeah.
Tough for Connecticut fans there. And then finally, time winding down in the game, Sheldon with a strong drive here. We've seen this a lot in the finals, but Sophie Cunningham with a headlock and a takedown. She ended up getting an additional fine, Dust. Yes? An additional fine on top of getting tossed out of the game. So your reaction to all of this?
It's so awesome. It's so great, and if everyone can stop the pearl clutching for just a minute, and I say that as a turn of phrase, not because it's women's basketball, you'd realize this is the best thing imaginable for this league. And listen, I said this back when Caitlin was at Iowa, and everyone was, I thought, being overly protective of her, and I thought a lot of that had to do with, like, oh, this little white girl in a black sport. And I was like, man, she is a badass and a trash talker and gives it as good as she gets it. And she is an object of scorn for good reason. She's awesome. She's swaggery. She does turn your home crowd into a road crowd. She is a frustrating player to guard, all of it. And if she is, for some of these teams, a bit of a villain, that's sweet. It only will make her better. She is already one of the 3 or 4 best players in the sport, as a lot of us thought she would be in short order. And sports are best like this. There needs to be some real sports hate. There needs to be some real whiff of violence, but not actual, like, oh my God, like, is there going to be real violence? So I think it's great. I don't know why everything has to be like, what's Kathy Engelbert going to do, the commissioner? Nothing. She should do nothing. Like, put down the regular fines or whatever. She doesn't need anyone protecting her, and this is awesome.
I agree. I think it is interesting. And I'll tell you what else was great for the league, if you're going to have something like this, the fact that they were white girls.
Yeah.
Because if they had been black, if black girls had done this to her, all the talk would be about, oh, the black women hate Caitlin Clark. They're jealous of Caitlin Clark. They're resentful. No, there's that feeling out there among a lot of the players. Because even with the whole racial discussion around Caitlin Clark, there have been many great white players in the WNBA. And none of them have gotten this type of attention that she has. So how do they feel about that? I was the little white girl dominating the WNBA too. I didn't get this type of attention. So I just wanted to throw that out there. But overall, it didn't turn, as long as it doesn't turn into anything crazy, then I think this is fine. This does show the competitiveness of the players. And I think ultimately that's what it was. And here's the thing too. Caitlin Clark, now she does a great job of, particularly with her body language, of playing the victim. Like, she walked away like, what are they doing? She started it all when earlier in the second quarter, one of the players said, you can't do that. And she said, I can do whatever the heck, she used another word, I want to do, and then pushed her. Yeah. She pushed her. So she started it. She's like a Larry Bird. Like, Bird used to talk all this trash
and by the way,
and kill people.
On the Larry Bird note, Bird was on the record on this, and I can't prove it. And not to make the whole racial stew of this more confusing, but Larry Bird would talk about how he would be offended when the other team would have him guarded by a white guy. Yeah. And Caitlin had an extra edge last night. I don't know if that's why or not. But the whole thing is
she only had
fun
20.
And great. And then you go, KW. I just want to show Caitlin's numbers because she missed some time. When I say she's second in the WNBA in points and assists right now. Second in both. And that on a per game, the plus minus, I think is the only people with a better per minute or per game plus minus are all members of the Liberty, who are the second or best team in the league. And I told you guys this, KW.
What?
She's got an enforcer on her team. Because Sophie Cunningham
is Cunningham
not,
the enforcer?
Well, I don't know. You don't get a black belt in Taekwondo without being an enforcer. Look, hold on. Earned a black belt in Taekwondo at 6 years old. That's from the great state university, University of Missouri. So that's a great journalism school too. They're not throwing that out there willy-nilly. That's real.
All right,
I'm just not buying. Well, I'm not buying the black belt.
Okay. Well, did you see that takedown she had last night?
I didn't think that was particularly skilled.
Well,
it felt more like
hands are lethal weapons. She's got to be careful.
More like brute force. No, I agree with you. I also have to offer an apology because I disparaged the great state of Connecticut. I thought this was in Connecticut.
Yeah.
And what tipped me off was the giant fever logo.
Okay.
I said, you know what? And then the big sign that said Gainbridge. I said, you know what? That might be be a home game for.
You were probably expecting it to be like.
Well, I got nervous because the whole
blue and gold or something.
Our away. What is it? What's the T-shirt say? Our away games are
your home.
Every game's a home game.
Okay, there you go.
So I got nervous for Connecticut. I didn't like that. Should Giannis stay with the Bucks?
Well, first of all, it's been a while since Giannis said, I want to be a Buck and win a championship.
He said it in Brazil.
Well, what did he say?
I'll be honest with you. A lot of the reporting was in Portuguese.
Yeah.
But during his time in Brazil,
he said, I want to get back to the finals, right?
Yeah, with the Bucks.
Okay.
All
right, go ahead. Okay. I didn't know. I thought the with the Bucks part was assumed and not stated. I could be wrong.
I also could be wrong. It was in Portuguese.
I wasn't trying to put you on the spot.
Their reporting's out there. I've talked to some people. They are saying he wants to go back to the Bucks and give them a shot. Like teams feel like he's not getting traded, at least not this summer. He should move on.
This summer?
Yeah, he should tell the Bucks, I want to leave. Because they have no way of improving. Like from what I'm told, one person told me on a team that would want to trade for him or have a good shot at getting him too, is that he wants to give them time to improve the team, maybe at the trade deadline if nothing's happened. They're not going to be able to prove. Damian Lillard is out maybe all of next season.
Probably.
All right? They won't have any real, if any, cap room to go ahead and get anybody. They don't control their first-round picks until 2031. They either don't own the first-round pick or it's a swap with another team.
2031.
2031.
That's a
so
lot.
How in the world are they going to improve? They're going to be bad. And if I was Giannis, if they start out poorly, then he should let them know right away. Don't drag it out until the trade deadline because that makes it tougher. And, you don't have as much time to develop with your new team. I think Giannis should – I love loyalty and all that, but he's been there 12 years. That's more than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar or Lou Alcindor was there in Milwaukee. That he gave him 12 years, gave him a ring. If he wants to go down – and he's got his ring, thank goodness, So that's off his back. That monkey's off his back. But – I think Giannis wants to be viewed, top 10 of all time, at least in that conversation. You have to win multiple rings. And there are teams out there that he can go to and have a great shot at winning rings, I feel like. So I do think he should move on.
I feel like what Brew just said there, and I know this is not the topic, but we talked about it earlier, and it's all I could think about. I feel like what Brew just said there is like what, in a weird way, LeBron was talking about. And I'm not like taking a shot at you, Brew, but it's like, okay, we all say Giannis is great, and he has a championship, and none of us are saying the Bucks are, capping his development as a player. If he goes somewhere else, he'll get better. But in order for us to think of him as someone better, he's got to go somewhere else because the Bucks franchise itself, there's no way he can win. No matter how good he is.
But you agree with that too.
I totally agree. I don't think you're wrong. I also think when LeBron says rings are a team accomplishment, this conversation to me is why. We are like Giannis. Pencil him in for 30, 12, and 6. He's awesome. He's one of the 3 best players in the league. He's going to be one of the 3 best players in the league next season no matter what. If he stays in Milwaukee, he can't win a championship. And if he can't win a championship, he can't move above Akeem or, whoever's next up on his list. So I think that's when it's like, well, but if he's the same level of player, but you're right, like that is how
he's not going to be playing an important.
He's not.
Well, that's the thing. Even if you take out legacy, if you're a player, particularly that great, you want to win. That is the point of the game, winning.
And you want to play in important games. Your point about 12 years, that is long. So he has spent more time in Milwaukee than LeBron spent in Cleveland the 2 times combined.
That's Magic Johnson's career.
Right. And it's close to, right.
I mean, he wasn't fully formed Giannis. I think
at
that's
the beginning.
Yeah.
But no.
And so I do think I was all about that he should leave. And now, just like I think because Jason Tatum tore his Achilles, the Magic traded for Desmond Bane. Because Jason Tatum tore his Achilles, I think Giannis, it's not crazy for him to be like, all right, I'll give it the first half of the season.
I could see that.
But how good can they? They will not have Damian Lillard.
No.
How good can they be?
I don't know. To see if he can, sorry for the 3rd time in this conversation to invoke LeBron, to see if he can do a version of 2018 LeBron with the Cavs.
He's different.
They're around.
I don't think like LeBron in his heyday.
I agree, but that's like that would be the challenge, right? Like, I'm in the lesser of the 2 conferences.
Yeah.
I'm gonna that year.
I'm gonna do it all.
LeBron also had Kyrie.
No, not 2018. I'm talking about 2018
or
LeBron.
Kevin Love, at that point.
Sure. And so you know what I mean? Like, just see how far I can carry this train. In the East, like, because that's the other thing. I don't know, unless he were to go to Houston, there's a lot of places he could be sent to where we're like, okay, well, they can't win the title either.
Exactly.
Well, to me, the place is Houston.
Yeah.
The place is Houston. And here's what I would say to Giannis as I would advise him to move on. Don't go to a place where it's stacked like Golden State with Kevin Durant. Don't do that. Like, I don't even know if he could, but do not go to a ready-made, everybody says they should win the champ. Like the Durant
Don't go to
thing.
Oklahoma City.
Don't do something like that. All right?
Oddly, you could go to Indiana.
I would even argue,
yeah,
it'd be interesting there. It'd be an interesting fit. But
no, I know, but it'd be weird.
I would not even, I don't know that I'd advise him to go to San Antonio. Because in short order, that's going to be Wemby's team.
Oh.
And I know Giannis obviously right now is better than Wemby, but I'm just saying that to me feels a little stacked.
They've never even made the play-in.
I'm just telling you, I think eventually that's going to become Wemby's team pretty quickly.
Don't you think Giannis will be better than Wemby for the rest of Giannis's prime for the next 3 years?
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know.
Really?
Because Giannis can't shoot. That's a big weakness. Wemby can shoot. Now, Wemby's got to improve. Don't get me wrong. He's got to improve a lot. But I would say go somewhere where you have a legitimate chance, but not somewhere that's so stacked that people will
I really don't think
hold
those
it against
teams
you.
really exist
I
right
think
now.
Houston is. I don't think Houston is like too stacked.
No, I'm saying I think
there.
the only team he could go to that people would like hold it against him is Oklahoma City. I don't think there's another team we look at and we're like, wow, that team is just loaded for bear. Like
that's
a
fair.
Healthy Boston and Oklahoma City are, you know what I mean? Like everywhere else, we would say he's getting them over the top.
Make a run at it.
I think New York would be if he could get there, but
be interesting.
That'd be interesting.
I kind of believe in Kyle Kuzma.
Okay, that's the worst.
Yeah, that's the
worst taking.
Nick does too.
I do.
Because he's saying
I like Kyle Kuzma.
Kyle's going to be the second option.
You were scoring 20 points in Washington. Can you do that again, please?
No, you can't.
He's going to have all the shots he wants.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.